Hello, my name is Sade, and I am back for another oral communication speech. This is a informative speech, and the subject that I choose today is mental health in the African American community. Mental health in the African American community is at an all-time high, with several deaths of COVID-19, the Black Lives Matter movement, and the killings of African Americans seen all around the world on social media and in TV. We have begun to develop more depression now than ever. Why so depressed, you might say? Well, let's look at some of the facts and some of the statistics. According to Health and Human Services Office of Minority Health, Black Americans are 20% more likely to experience serious mental health problems than the general population. Black youth who are exposed to violence are at a greater risk for PTSD at over 25%. Black Americans are also more likely to be exposed to factors that increase developing a mental health disorder, such as homelessness and exposure to violence. This information was taken from ADA.org. I decided to talk about mental health in the African American community because I am an African American woman and I have dealt with depression on several levels. What are some of the symptoms of depression, one might ask? Some of the symptoms of depressions are irritability, restlessness, feelings of guilt, worthlessness, helplessness, hopelessness, pessimism. Some of these symptoms of depression were found on the mentalhealthnationalorg.com. Why so depressed, you might ask? Well, in the African American community, we are not raised to deal with depression in the way that others might have been raised to deal with it. And here's a quote from therealhealthmag.com. We didn't grow up talking about emotional and mental well-being. In fact, we learned to hush up about it. But doing nothing about depression, refusing even to talk about it, can be deadly. Up to 35% of suicides result from untreated depression. And depression goes untreated more often in the Black community. Why does depression go so untreated more often in the Black community? Well, number one is we don't always have the resources and the tools and the money to spend on finding a mental health therapist. There are a lot of Americans all over the world who do not have access to health care. So if you don't have access to health care, you can't get a therapist. Also, as an African American woman, we are raised a little bit differently. We have a little bit more stress upon our shoulders. And let's talk about that. When a Black woman suffers from a mental disorder, the opinion is that she is weak. And weakness in Black women is intolerable. You should take your problems to Jesus, not some stranger or psychiatrist. That was also found in the mentalhealthnational.org. If you feel that you can't talk to anybody about the problems that you're going through, how do you release the depression? How do you release the anxiety? And what does that look like for African Americans? Well, as an African American, it looks scary to us when we see people who are the same shade of skin as we are getting killed and murdered by the people that are supposed to be protecting us, such as the police. When we see that Black women's rate of being raped and abused and neglected is higher than any other woman in America today. These are some of the things that we are facing on a daily basis, all while trying to be great mothers, fathers, sisters, and brothers. Also, in the African American community, you have a lot of families who do not have a father in the home. One, because maybe something happened, like he went to jail and he's unavailable to be there for his children, which leaves the mother the sole responsibility of raising the children, which will cause more stress and anxiety as she is now the sole provider. Other things that may be causing stress in the mental health community is not being able to feel that you can speak out about the things that you're going through because of the culture and how we were raised. Today, I wanted to change some of those dynamics by letting you know it is okay to speak out when you have a mental health issue. It is okay to talk about the problems and the things that are going on in your life. I want to break this stigma in the African American community and allow African Americans to feel safe and comfortable to talk about some of the deep, dark issues that they are going through. My personal story with dealing with depression lies with my mother passing away in 2016, and I was not able to function. I was not able to think. I wasn't treating myself and my family with the best level of self-care. I reached out to a therapist and I started to attend sessions. And let me tell you, going to therapy changed my life and changed the dynamic of who I am today. Other tips and tricks that you can use if you do not have access to a therapist. Let's talk about them. One, exercise. Getting up and moving your body every single day is something that you, my friend, can do to improve your mental health. Did you know Public Health found that running for 15 minutes a day or walking for an hour reduced the risk of major depression by 26%. So get out there and move your body. It also releases endorphins, which are those feel-good emotions, giving you more energy and the ability to focus, to fight against depression. You can learn more about the benefits of exercise through helpguide.org. Also, some of the personal tricks and tips that I use to overcome my depression are exercising. This vision board here. I do believe everyone should have a vision board. It is very important to see positive things on a daily basis to help trigger your mind into more positive thoughts. So different things that I have on my vision board are happy. I want to be happy. I want to be strong. I want to be focused. I want to save money, be responsible, be patient with myself. I want to have some fun, get my finances on order, and most importantly, create self-care packages for myself. Another tip and trick that you can utilize is journaling. If you do not have access to some of these things, pen and paper will do. Writing down your feelings, getting out your emotions is very important in today's society and every day. I want you to know that you are not alone in your thoughts and your feelings, and that they are valid and you do matter. Now, I also want to address any woman, man, child, boy, or girl who has been feeling the need to take your life. I want to encourage you to please choose another route. We need you to stand up and stand out and overcome the obstacles that lie ahead of you, because you are our future. I also want to leave you with a resource. If you are feeling suicidal, please contact the suicide hotline at 1-800-273-TALK. Again, that's 1-800-273-8255. I want to leave you with this thought. A mind is a terrible thing to waste. So, don't waste your mind. Don't waste your time. Get your mental health together. Thank you.